Hello. Today I would like to talk about empaths. I watched a video. I'm not sure, those videos that they make on YouTube, if they are really what, let's say, Jung was saying, or they are just gathered information in general, what he was saying, but putting into certain context. So I'm not sure how true it is, but from my point of view, whatever I watched in this video, it makes sense. I considered myself empath. I uh, I mean, from a long time ago, I didn't know how to call myself. I didn't know the word empath when I noticed what I feel, that I feel people's emotions and see reactions. But anyway, this is what the video is about. It says that empaths go through 4 stages of light integration. So it's like empaths, just put in this society that consists of different people, and regular psychopath, narcissists, insecure people, or people who want to control. Anyway, we are all mixed up here, whoever it is, and we encounter certain people, and this video is like teaching the empath how to become what they are supposed to become. And according to Jung, empaths are supposed to become beacons for people who want to connect to their emotional truth. So let's start. So first, he said that empaths need to observe how people react to them. So in the beginning, they should check the people who come around with a small, kind of subdued a little bit empathy, and observe how they react to the acts of empathy. So some people may resent the authenticity of the empath, the other will appreciate it. So the empath should, choose the people who appreciate and help them develop their own abilities, and distance themselves from people who do not appreciate. And also, the goal is not to hide the light, their own light, but to share it with those who appreciate. So some will appreciate the beauty of the light, authenticity. The other will resent it, resent the brightness. So Jung thought that it's actually beneficial for not only for the individual, empath to develop their abilities or grow, but also for whole collective society. So the empaths have that special gift, I guess, this bright light that will either be too bright for those who are not meant to see it, and for those who are looking for development, it will be attractive. So it's so anyway, empath needs to, successfully first integrate the light and themselves in themselves. So they need to protect their authenticity and be somehow away from the negative forces who want to distinguish the light. So those, he said there are four stages for empath to develop their integrity with light. So in the first stage, the empath learns how to recognize the resentment directed toward them as projection rather than feedback. So people who look at the empath, who criticize the empath, they are projecting themselves. So the empath actually has nothing to do with it. It's the person who sees them and triggers. Empath just unknowingly triggers something in them, so they project on the empath this resentment. So when empath knows that it's a projection and not real criticism, then they will know that they don't need to dim their light. They just need to move away from those people. Second one is boundary development. So without like hardening themselves, like, hiding their ability to be an empath, to give the bright light, they need to create energetic protection around them, while in the same time maintaining emotional openness. So they will still will help people, but in the same time they need to develop that shield that will protect them from the attacks. So it's related to the first one, I think. If you know that it's projection, that you automatically just disregard it. It's just projection. Nobody is criticizing me, but I trigger something in those people. So he will maintain this emotional openness while, in retaining empathy while protecting themselves from attacks. Empath learns also how to distinguish between authentic emotional connection and psychological attack disguised as a relationship. So this reminds me that, empaths usually become like victims of narcissistic personalities, because narcissistic personalities somehow know they can use empaths. So if the empath is not integrated, he will be giving attention, then, the first stage is like, love bombing and, elevating the person. It's how narcissists act with the, own supply. And when that stage passes, it starts to degrading the person. So if the empath is not integrated, then it will think, oh, something is wrong with me. I'm not good enough. So this is what feeds, the attacker. And it's not good for empath, because empath gradually is confused, and if it persists long time, it may lose confidence in themselves and become depressed. And so it is important to integrate this light in you before you get into any relationship, so you can recognize actually who is authentically appreciating you and who is manipulating you in the relationship. So he also said that empath in that stage is open to love while immune to hatred. So empath still can love, but if something, happens, criticism or disappreciation, degradation, he won't hate the person. So this is stage 2. In stage 3, empath stops to gain, empath stops to want to get acceptance from those who resents its authenticity, his authenticity. So they already are aware that they are projecting. That's why they resent the light. And they should actually seek the relationship with people who appreciate what empath does and how empath shines. So empath needs to release the need to be understood by everyone. Empath needs to release the need to be understood by everyone. It's probably not only about empath, but we need to, accept that some people will understand it and some don't. This is what I always say. We live in separate worlds. So we just let the person have their own opinion. We can share our opinion, but we don't need to force it on anybody. So if the person does not choose our opinion, it's okay. He has different paths. So let them be. This is at least my way of dealing with the situation. So in that case, empath may have less friends, but it's not important how many friends, but the quality of the friendship. So not the quality is important, not quantity. So this is how it works, and this is how my life is. I am selecting. I got enough courage to leave the groups that don't agree with me, so I lost a lot of friends. I mean, I wouldn't say I lost, I left them because, I mean, they don't appreciate my opinion, they don't appreciate me. So I'm looking and staying with people who appreciate what I say. So, to me, it's not problem. And, you will never be alone unless you choose to be alone, because while when you have certain type of vibration frequency you give out, you attract similar vibration people. So you will always find somebody else. So there's no problem to be alone unless you want, like, to choose to be a hermit, maybe. So it's okay too, I cannot handle too many people. To me, having, like, 3 to 5 friends is enough. Even I wouldn't be able to handle them in one time. One at a time also is better, because each person is slightly different. So, you know. Also, the fourth stage is service without sacrifice. So in my case, this is I have really good example, because I was taking care of my husband for a very long time. He was very ill, and it was how you say, debilitating disease that was going gradually down and down. He couldn't cure it. So after a while, when it was harder and harder for him to handle the pain and everything was happening to him, I, as an empath, I felt it as pain too. It wasn't physical pain, but it was very painful, and I knew I cannot leave him. So in certain way, I was like sacrificing myself for his sake, because he needed more attention than me. So I found eventually way to to deal with this. I was like going out in the nature, and trying to recharge myself. I had some friends who understood me, and they were taking me out. I had one who pretended to be friend, but I had fun with him, just talking on the internet, and teaching me new stuff. So that that part, helped me a lot to handle, taking care of my husband every day, practically 24/7. So, that part I was not, how to say, I mean, I couldn't imagine myself to leave my husband, when he was sick. This was something so cruel that I couldn't do it. So that's why I was trying to have like separate life, on my own. Some was fantasy world, some was nature, and it helped a lot. So I don't know how he would answer that part, empath sacrificing certain situation. I mean, some people leave, some people do leave, they cannot handle. So I couldn't leave. I would feel horribly guilty. So service without sacrifice is ability to help others while keeping boundaries. I mean, with my husband, my boundaries was that he would let me go at certain time of the day when he had to rest or sleep, and I could go out. So I was creating those boundaries for myself, I think we could call it. So, I mean, I survived that somehow. Uh, and But he also says that keeping boundaries against those who would exploit it. I wouldn't say my husband exploited me. He didn't have anyone. I mean, he asked actually for help to come at times home and do some shopping or some easy stuff. So, so he was not in the exploiting mode. So this part is a little bit different. And so the empath needs to have boundaries. So it should act from overflow rather than depletion. Because one time, when I couldn't handle it, I was like in the depletion state, like I was giving, and I felt like I have already gave so much that I don't have anymore. This is when I started, to look for other things to have separate life. So, like, fantasy or nature, that was my way. So empath seems like, according to Jung or whatever the video I watched, serve evolutionary have a evolutionary function in the sense that they would help people who are open to them, who are accepting them. They would help them to develop too. For those who resent, they have, I guess, different ways. So we don't have to be concerned about people who do not like us or resent us. We just focus on those who need us. So this is the talk I prepared for everybody today. I pre-recorded it because sometimes I have hard time just talking live, even though I didn't stop this video. But I think I said in general everything I wanted. So I will stop here, and I think I don't need any comment today, not to make it longer. So thank you for listening, and I will be seeing you again, maybe live I do next. So bye for now.